Nihility is once again struggling with an identity issue, and I, for one, am not surprised in the slightest. I have discussed this issue in the past with my previous video that I probably will be too lazy to link later. If you're curious about my past thoughts on the issue, the thumbnail to that video looks like this. Go watch that video for more context, or don't. Either way, we have a major issue to talk about, as it all revolves around the release of Honkai Star Rail's newest character, Acheron. I typically put this section at the end of my videos, but I wanted to see what would happen if I asked you all to sub at the beginning of the video, just to see if it would do anything different. So yeah, if you find yourself coming back to my channel for any reason, please sub, and honestly, it just helps us both. Anyways, enjoy the video. With the release of 2.1, we got our newest limited 5-star, which of course is Acheron. Now, to everyone's shock, pun intended, when she was drip marketed, she turned out to be a Lightning Nihility character. Now, this in itself is a huge problem, and a lot of people were skeptical because she's our second Lightning Nihility character, with her first being Kafka. Of course, as we got information on how her kits work, an old issue reared its ugly head. I'm referring to the identity issue that the Path of Nihility has. Now, in the video issue, I talked in depth about this issue pertaining to characters we had 4 months ago, and how there was a split in the characters that were classified as Nihility. The cliff notes of that video are basically Nihility is split into debuffers, the characters that can reduce enemy stats to assist teammates in taking down enemies, which is a more supportive type role, and damage over time characters, characters that apply debuffs that deal damage on an enemy's turn, which is more damage based role. And up until this point, we have continued to get characters that fall under these two subcategories. That is, until Acheron released. We are first going to take a look at Acheron's kit. Her Q, or basic attack, is your standard hit that doesn't really hit too hard, but it regenerates a skill point. Not much to talk about here. Her skill applies a Crimson Knot stat, which I will refuse to call a debuff, as it does not affect enemy stats, which you can only get by using Acheron's skill or having an ally afflict a debuff. Her passive makes Acheron have no energy, but instead allows her to ult whenever there are 9 Crimson Knot stacks applied to enemies on the field. When her ultimate hits a total of 3 times, getting rid of 3 Crimson Knot stacks while ramping up the damage of each stack until all stacks of Crimson Knot have been used, allowing Acheron to do one more massive strike dealing damage. Attentive viewers will notice something very important about her kit, in the fact that the only real mention of debuffs in here is the debuffs dealt by allies, not Acheron herself. In fact, Acheron's kit reads more like a Destruction Path character because of not only the insane single target damage you can inflict, but also the really crazy 3 target or cleave damage, as I like to call it, damage Acheron can put out. And with the supposed meta build for her being crit build, it's hard to not think that she was intended to be a destruction character. But I could already hear the comments flaming me for the fact that Crimson Knot is a debuff, or Acheron gets 20% resistance penetration in her ult state. And to that I say, we've marked base characters in paths other than Nihility. First one that comes to mind is Topaz. When you skill an enemy, you mark them with a affliction called Proof of Dead. This isn't a debuff. That fact is reflected in her path in game is Hunt. And if you're not already convinced, here's a list of all the characters I can find mark enemies that are not in path of Nihility. Hopefully at this point you are starting to understand the point I'm trying to make here. While Acheron's kit is incredibly interesting and complex, a playstyle we have yet to see in the game, it just isn't fit to be in the Nihility path. In fact, it feels like Hoyoverse lumped her into Nihility because they have over-released destruction type characters and panic slapped her into a different path to make room for Sam as a destruction character type next patch. Not spoilers, but I would be shocked if he wasn't. That being said, Nihility has been eaten good on character releases so I don't even know anymore. And of course, for some reason, I like adding sections where I tell billion-dollar companies how to make their game better so everyone can flame me for my shit takes even more in the comments. But honestly, if you disagree with this idea, you're just wrong. And, well, it's really quite simple. Just, make her a destruction character. That's it. That's all I ask. You just put her in the proper path and stop making Nihility the Hufflepuff of HSR paths by just slapping new characters that you don't know what path they're supposed to be in there. Now, I want to set things straight before wrapping up this video. I love the path of Nihility, to the point where I would say it's probably my favorite path in the game. It has probably my two most favorite playstyles in the game, those being the Kafka Dot team and your Turn Never Happens Welt team. But if you look at my videos on my channel, it would seem like I hate Nihility because Hoyoverse keeps screwing up the path. And I want this path to stop feeling like a catcher at a t-ball game. Hopefully I won't ever have to make another video like this one again, as I really do have faith that Hoyo won't keep adding characters that really should be in other paths into Nihility. But at this rate, I don't even know anymore. I would love to hear if you're just as tired as I am with this being an issue, or if I'm sounding like the village crackhead with my dumbass video essay rants on this arbitrary topic. I really do hope you enjoyed this very, very short video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.